Paraprofessionals are some of the most important components of an intense interventions classroom, and building your team with a strategic plan of respect, solid planning, and open communication will create a foundation for big outcomes for our students and a much happier classroom environment. So here are some of my tips for that building process. Never ask them to do anything that you wouldn't do yourself. This means that there are times when I'm changing diapers, feeding students, cleaning up vomit, wiping noses. Maybe not every day, but my peers have to know that I respect them and value the work that they do to provide excellent care for our students. Additionally, this gives me a chance to model how I would handle these critical care situations. Now, there are many aspects of my job that I do not ask them to do, like certified paperwork or formal parent communication and such, but that's a different story. Ask for their feedback and respect their opinions. So let's face it, as much as I would like to be with every student every day, that doesn't always happen. And as much as I would like to be with every paraprofessional every day, that doesn't always happen. With students spread out across classrooms and grade levels, I rely on my peers to carry out support, sometimes with very little direction. My peers often know my students in different ways across different environments, which allows them unique opportunities to make observations that I don't have the privilege to carry out. Their feedback is vital. Often during or following a difficult situation, we just put a halt on classroom happenings to have a staff powwow or a brainstorming session. And these short sessions help us to hash out our struggles and build upon each other's successes and struggles to figure out plans that we can apply together. My third tip is just to share. My assistants are in it for our kiddos. They aren't coming from glamorous tasks or raking in big money. They're here to help our students learn and grow. So it's part of my job to help my assistants learn and grow. When I attend a PD, I try to bring back some nuggets of info to share with my paras. I also like to do these weekly email blasts to include the weekly agenda, upcoming events, pleas that I'm begging for help, or behavior updates, a reference to a helpful website, or a link to a short video for info. Just little tidbits of information to let them know that I value them and want to help them grow too. I also allow for tap outs. Now, there is absolutely no shame in needing a break from a specific student or from a specific task. Our jobs are hard and there's no way around it. I have so much respect for individuals who can recognize his or her limits and request a tap out before going into a meltdown. That's a responsible, self-regulating response. Now, if it happens every single day with the same student or with the same task, that's a different issue. But relatively infrequent tap outs are a good way to help support each other and show each other that we're in it for the team. And offer lots of positive reinforcement. Few people honestly have any idea what an intense interventions para does. We've got to shout out their praises in the classroom and beyond. Use social media, email admin with photos and appreciation for the selfless tasks that these assistants do. Show your appreciation because they do what they do so well. They enable me to do the things that I need to do to the best of my ability. And one of the ways that I like to positively reinforce my staff is by keeping a freezer full of brownies available.
So this is the brownie mix to use. It's the Betty Crocker dark chocolate version. I've tried other flavors, I've tried other brands, but this is the one that makes the best brownies that are going to keep your parents super happy. So all I do is I just follow the instructions on the back of the box. So it's calling for 1/4 cup water, a half a cup vegetable oil, and 2 eggs. But I've been trying to make some healthy choices, and so I have heard that you can substitute applesauce for the oil, just a half a cup of applesauce for the half a cup of oil. But the problem is, I really don't like applesauce. Like after 20 years in that elementary school, the cafeteria serves green applesauce, purple applesauce, blue applesauce, and I'm over applesauce. But there are some other fruit substitutions that you might want to consider, like, maybe some berry flavor here. So instead of applesauce, maybe some berry sauce, some other sauce, fruits, or even there's some grape sauce you might want to consider, or even some citrusy orange you might want to think about. So those might be some substitutions that you'd like to think of. So once you've gotten all of your ingredients in and you think you're just about ready to put these guys in the oven, I gotta tell you, there's an add-in, a special ingredient, something that only I put into these brownies that make them extra special and make them perfect for that after-school snack for our paraprofessionals. So you can see there's lots of options that you might choose for an add-in. Think about it. The possibilities are endless. You could pretty much add just about anything you wanted. Think about all of the options that are out there. What would make your day extra special? The only answer that we could possibly consider would be chocolate chips, right? because I can't think of anything else that would make our brownies extra, extra special. And you can add, you know, a little bit or a lot, just depending on the day. Who knows what you might need. So I usually go with about a half a bag of chocolate chips in my brownies. And you can determine yourself if you want to add those chips in, you know, one at a time, or it might even be a day that you just have to just go handful by handful. But whatever you do, these chocolate chips are going to make these brownies extra special for your paraprofessionals.